let's go to Shooter Breeze topic number 4. Shooter Breeze topic number 4 is Micah Johnson's last words. Came with a link. It's taking us back to Twitter. Let's listen to it once or twice, and then we'll discuss it.
The media is going to tell their own story.
I don't care how people know what I'm telling.
But we want to know. Can we find out?
You guys see the first time, y'all would be praised as a hero. And now that y'all were real terrorists, now what? I'm mentioning the same.
But is it going to be looked at that way, X?
I don't care how people know.
But I'm saying you're doing this for black people, right?
Yeah.
How is black people going to look at it?
There are many of us who feel the way I do.
I understand that. I understand that.
Well played, StreamYard. Well played.
But maybe if you tell your story on some type of news channel, the people who don't feel you will feel you.
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame, there's been too many people talking. Rest people know about it. The talking is over. It's time for revolution, brother.
Yeah, well played, StreamYard, with the lagging of the video. I tell you, man, if you don't understand the constant monitoring that I feel happens with black folks, man, you better do. Kem Warrior, to the last prompt, he said, let's create our own version of Disney. And I think that's an important point, even in this prompt, in the sense that it's time to stop talking about it. We've been talking about shit like this. Let's create our own versions of Disney for decades now, right? But what's happening? And that was one of the points I was making with those animators in Africa, from the 6 African nations, I guess it was. Like, are they sitting around with each other, the talent, as well as the investors, as well as the marketers, and saying we're going to create this conglomerate to create our own, to come up with the capital, to create these films, to put out these films ourselves? I don't know if that's happening like that. But you guys might have more information than me. Anyway, Micah Johnson's last words. D-Web, I know you're familiar with the story. What are your thoughts on Micah Johnson's last words?
Well, I mean, it's par for the course. And you know what? I'm always apprehensive when stuff like this gets released. Like this, how long the story was, but 5-6 years. It's been quite a while, and it's kind of crazy that you're just now releasing this type of audio. So, I always look for what's the play in that. Why, who's released it? Why are they releasing it? Things of that nature, right? But I mean, it's par for the course from what I've heard from the brother. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's kind of crazy that we aren't talking more about him and the other brother out of California, Dorner, right? Christopher Dorner, where these people were actually executed without due process, right? I think that's a bigger story. That should have been the biggest story from the beginning. There have been Americans drone striked overseas without trial, right? And to me, this is against this so-called Constitution that these people uphold. This man was in the army. This man supposedly fought for the Constitution, and he was denied his due process rights, right? They're walking other people out. They do 20-hour, 30-hour, 40-hour negotiations with other people, but they blew this man up within a day. Within 24 hours, he was blown up, right? And he was cornered. It wasn't like he could get out and kill multiple people. You have him cornered at that point. So why was it necessary to blow him up with a robot bomb? They say Christopher Dorner didn't die of of a drone, but there's plenty of people who have recorded that it's been a drone strike. They even shot it at a vehicle where he wasn't even in, shot some civilians thinking it was him because they were so terrified of that man that was military trained. That's why I say you got to be very careful as a black vet out here when you go revolutionary, because they know what they trained you in, and they know what kind of threat you are, and they will get you up out of here, right? So to me, the most revolutionary people are the black vets who actually speak against the system. You know what I'm saying? Because they will not play. They know they know everything they taught you, and they know what you're capable of, right? They will get you up out the paint. So I think that's, to me, is the biggest story than his last words is, why wasn't this brother allowed due process? Why didn't you bring in the ace hostage negotiator in this case? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So that's what I got, man.
Yeah, thank you for that, D-Web. Yeah, Kyle Hezekiah in the chat had a similar question to me. He said, is that a black cop trying to negotiate with him? It sounded like a black guy to me trying to negotiate with him. I had those similar thoughts. Kyle Hezekiah also said the brother was engaging in maximum emergency compensatory violence. Maximum emergency compensatory violence. I'm going to get the trigger happy thoughts in a second. Let me go to Buana next. Buana, what are your thoughts on Micah Johnson's last words?
You know, Koku, I think that I'm not at liberty, to discuss. See, my brothers in America are under constant stress and pressure. So when you always pinning an animal, if you pin an animal into a corner, naturally he's gonna. And I'm not comparing my brothers. Well, all of us are part of the animal kingdom. But when you're under constant stress and pressure, the animal is gonna eventually lash out. Now, how he lashes out is gonna express itself in different ways. I've not walked in this man's shoes to understand why he'd want to take it here, but in listening to my brothers like Brother Bakari and other brothers and sisters who have to live under this thing of constant pressure, I understand why they would have to resort to the ways that they would do it, from my philosophy, like when he say get the hell out of here, but when you can't get out, when you can't leave, what do you do in that scenario? What do you do? So I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. I know that my man his heart was in the right place in taking taking the tack that he did, but I don't know. We could have used his energy in maybe in other places, and maybe do something different somewhere else where he didn't have to lose his life. But I have not walked in this man's shoes. This man was a military vet, so he gonna respond like a military vet. But I have not walked in this man's shoes, man. So I can't really speak on this as freely like my other brothers who actually live in America would. So I would just leave it to them to make comments on this particular one.
Yeah, Buana, do me a favor and increase your volume too. Your volume is pretty low. You have to squint to hear it, so to speak. Let's welcome in our brother, Real Black Gentleman. RBG, how are you this week?
Man, I'm feeling right. I'm feeling right.
Good. How do you feel about Micah Johnson's last words?
I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, I saw the video where what was it, Philando Castile had gotten shot, you know what I'm saying, with his baby, you know what I'm saying, the back seat, and his woman with him. I mean, I'm not gonna say that he saw that, but I'll tell you what. When you know that that things are not right, that there's injustice, and injustice is an imbalance, there are those who will attempt to rebalance things. And I can't speak for him. My perception is that he attempted to rebalance the situation, man. And I mean, he you know what I'm saying? He took action. You know what I'm saying? He took action. Of all places, I don't know if he even realized it. The Black Lives Matter march that happened to be going on at there. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't his focus, but like, I mean, he tried to bring balance to the situation. And I mean, I see that, and I recognize it. That's, you know what I'm saying? I recognize what he tried to do, man. You know, I recognize it. I mean, I can't speak for him. I'm not him. Yeah, he spoke for himself. You know what I'm saying? We heard what he said. I mean, it's life. You know what I'm saying? It's vigor. You know what I'm saying? It's vitality, man. I'm gonna let someone else speak.
Thank you for that, real black gentleman. Let's go to Oni. Oni, Micah Johnson's last words. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it sucks that he had to die. But you see how the last person he speaks to, while they're getting a robot, while they're sending in a robot to detonate right next to him, okay, he's a black man. You know, like this is like, it comes back to not just who has the capital, really, but it really comes back to, you know, not just who has the power, but it just comes back to this white boy can use you. Okay, this white boy has black people in his pocket. Black man standing up for his people. And again, if you notice what happens afterward, you know, we don't all just get into revolution. No, he gives up his life. He's a damn martyr. Not damn, but you know, he's a martyr, right? He gives up his life, and what comes of it? His last moments, this white boy was like, and this black man was like, hey man, let us capture you. You know, let us capture you. While his buddies are like, yo, you wanna try blow up a human being with a robot? We never did this before, but we could do it here. They said this is the first man, probably an American, like in America, to be killed by a robot. You know, in America. And his own country did it to him. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't shooting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm saying he was whatever. But you know, the fact that a black man, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I'll tell y'all this. You know, like I said, if I'm working for this cracker, every once in a while, the cracker want me to do an African American in. You know what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, and I'm not just because they're African American, obviously, but well, I'm just saying that because I know the FBA folk out there, right? But what I mean is that every once in a while, these white folk want me, because I'm in a higher position, right? So they want me to talk about either the black people on my position or the black people on the positions lower than me, right? And be like, hey, you know, this person, like for instance, one of them, like you know, it's remote, right? So one of them had to restart their computer and it took forever. So then they were like, hey, let's take a note how long this person's been gone so that we could take off their pay. And I'm like, hey, you know, we can't take pay off them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're repairing their, you know, they're fixing their computer and it's a remote job, right? But like they want me, you know, to be like, yeah, man, that's a good for nothing. You know, or like they had, you know, some white person who was underperforming. I got that motherfucker kicked out. You see what I'm saying? But they got some black sister who's underperforming. I'm like, yeah, she might be having a rough day. You know what I'm saying? But like, what I'm saying is that I don't go with the okie doke. But you have these black people who do. And there's a lot of them. Because even like we said, last prompt, Master P. Master P was giving out some degenerate, loser-ass music. Sure, he made the music himself, which is good. But he was doing the exact thing what the other people was doing. You know what I'm saying? If not worse. Well, not if not worse, but he was doing the same thing that they were doing. Right? You know, I don't remember his songs, honestly. I just remember his son. But still, My point is that, you know, we have people in our circles, not even that's in our circle, but we have people that look like long story, all kinfolk ain't skin, no, all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. And that's what it comes to with this situation. You hear the man telling him, like Micah's like, yo, brother, come on, you the last person I'm talking to. Just get out the fucking way. You know, what are they trying to do to me? Are they trying to, like, what's their next attack? And the brother's like, come on, man, we're going to capture you. Don't worry. We're going to bring you in. We're going to have an interview with you. While his buddies, while he's just being there to distract them, while they send a robot after this man. A damn robot out of the freaking Terminator film. No, it wasn't that, obviously. It was just a little drone that exploded next to him. But it's like that, like they delivered a landmine pretty much, right? I think that's, I don't know the story, but I think that's what it was, right? That said, yeah, this brother was sitting there talking to him. And I mean, obviously, somebody might be like, well, why are you going so hard on the brothers if his white man did it? Yeah. It's not like, again, I understand this white boy. I'm finna write a book where I'm just gonna tell you guys, hey, look, these white people supposed to be at you. If you know the freaking history of the world, they supposed to be at you. But you as a black person, you have to know who's on your side. Micah was you know, Micah stood up. Okay? And realistically, if you were really about it, man, you should have been like, hey, Micah, look. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's it.
Only real quick, because I do want to end at 11, and we got a couple more prompts. What is your thing against Neely Fuller's maximum emergency compensatory violence?
No, it's just Neely Fuller. Neely Fuller's a freaking clown. Like, Neely Fuller's just a freaking clown. Like, he's just a clown. Like, even this maximum, he's just such a clown. Like, there's some people who are just cornballs and clowns, and Neely Fuller is just one of them. You know? Like, I'm pretty sure he's not even black. I'm just gonna say that. All right, that's it.
All right. Does anyone have any last thoughts on this prompt? All right, then. Let's go to Shoot the Bridge topic number 5 tonight. Shoot the Bridge topic number 5 is, and by the way, shout out to KWAZ who did say, long live the spirit of Micah, the Lion Johnson. So shout out to KWAZ for being here. Kem Warrior said the approach was just wrong. So I'm curious, Kem Warrior, you could expand on that a little bit further, I guess. KW7 says Neely Fuller Jr. is not serious or African-centered. I could agree.